Hey gang, Seamus here. Words! They've been around for generations. If you've lived, you've spoken. I know I have. Heck, I'm doing it right now. Words are some of my favorite things. You can tell by how many of them I've used already. But, what are words? If you ask me, they're nothing but absolute humdingers of satisfaction. There's nothing I love more than a good term. In fact, I love words so much, I was named after one. Words are a core part of humanity. Without them, we wouldn't be half the humans we are today. We'd be Huns. But to fully grasp words, we're gonna have to figure out what makes them tick, their different configurations, their history, and their uses. So join me, won't you? This is gonna be a doozy, and please God, don't let me do it by myself.
Okay, so if we're gonna learn about the history of words, we're gonna have to go back to their inception. And no, it didn't all start with kerfuffle. I know, I was surprised too. No, see, if we want to hit words right in the nostalgia, we're gonna have to mean it. And that means going all the way back to when we looked like this. Or the Paleolithic era. Now there's a boatload of debate on what the first ever words spoken were. Scientists suspect that there actually weren't words back then, but rather simple gestures. I'd hate to be them. However, inferences are our best friend today because really, we can't possibly know. I mean, I wasn't there. Those very inferences, combined with some educated guessing and a little bit of hope, allow us to speculate that the first words ever spoken were probably something like mother or father. This, like many things, makes sense. Think of words as a baby. I mean, what was your first word?
Kerfuffle.
It's just a shame that animals can't join in on the fun. I mean, they don't have words, they just have noises that convey meaning.
From there, things took care of themselves. As more people started existing, more words were needed for the inventions they made, and the feelings they felt, and the numbers they counted. Humans were on pace to be the #1 talkers in the world. That is, until now.
That's why I'm taking a stand. Idioms used to be all the rage, but now no one's using them anymore. I mean, seriously, when was the last time you heard someone say, "A fire hydrant's right twice a week"? Let's fix that. By the end of this, you'll see how splendid it is to get idiomatic.
You see, things have slowed down dramatically at the word factory. Like, think about it. When was the last time you heard a new word? I can't think of the last time I heard anything new since 2006. Ever since then, it's been all old news. So I think we should start putting the ones we have to better use. There's so many phrases and idioms that are just gone to waste because we all rely on the same ones nowadays.
What's the point of having words if you can't do anything with them? What, you think they're just supposed to sit there and look pretty? Well, if you do, you're not necessarily wrong.
See, writing and speaking are kind of two sides of the same coin. If writing is visual words, speaking is audible words. Now that may seem obvious, but there's more to writing and speaking than just that. You can have words. In fact, please do. I'd hate to see what an essay looks like without them. But it's not just about words. It's about what you do with them. See, I'm a gigantic proponent of context, and if you use certain words in the right way at the right time, well, things can get pretty crazy. Wordplay is, in layman's terms, messing around with a sentence until it becomes more applicable to any given context. Heck, it doesn't even have to be with a sentence. You can play with just one word if that's all you got. Let me get a basic example going here. Let's say I'm at the book factory, right? They're making books here. How novel. Boom! I'm like Albert Allen Shakespeare.
Starting with the most obvious, rhyming. Anyone can do this even without timing. All that it takes is to find a word you like and then pair it with another of the same sound. No psych. Sometimes though they can go on for far too long, and typically that's when they start to sound like a song. Worry not, I won't sing, but it's just showing off. Rhyming. Okay, next. Hey, how's it going? Huh? Oh, you're confused. You just caught me catching up with my buddy, hey. See, what you may have just confused my friend here for is the word hey. That's called a homophone, when two words sound the exact same, but they're actually different. Now, some other examples of that would be, let's see, bear, bear, there, 22288, stare, stare. A portmanteau is generally seen as the way to bridge the gap between two separate kinds of words. One you're probably familiar with is brunch, a fusion of breakfast and lunch. It means to have breakfast when most people are having lunch. One that you might not know, however, is sitcom. Situational comedy. It's a fusion of those two words. It makes sense for something that's only funny a part of the time, I guess. A double or triple entendre is when you can derive more than one meaning from any actual phrase or sentence. A classic example of one of these would be sticking a "that's what she said" on the end of any given phrase. But it's kinda like the cake mix of dirty jokes, which would be good unless you use it too much. Just like cake mix, the more you use it, the worse it gets. Idioms. My favorite way to not make sense mid-conversation. Without idioms, I'd be a shell of a man. Gasp! There's one right there! There are so many more ways to play with words, but I just really wanted to cover the basics. Hopefully we can start putting these to use and become better as a society because of it. Look, this was just a short delve into the absolutely vast, delicious amount of alphabet soup you can get involved in, but it's really all your choice. The world is filled to the brim with different cultures and dialects who all talk their own way, and if you're not the kind of person who plays with words, well, that's okay. Wordplay holds a ginormous amount of real estate in my heart. That's why I spent so long talking about it. I made a whole video for it. And to be honest, I think I have a reason why, but that's a story for another day. We've been wording around for quite a while now, so I think we should throw in the towel here. We've gone over the origins and uses of many common expressions, and I think we've done so much that we can squeeze a lesson out of this too. And it's a sappy one. Well, I have nothing else to say on this topic. Finally, you can go out in the world and have a newfound appreciation for words and their play. Whenever someone asks you, "What's the word?" you can say, I don't know, the?